Hey y'all, do you have UFOs in your studio? Do you know what a UFO is? It is an unfinished object. And I have lots of unfinished objects and projects in my studio. So every now and then I will go through the piles or find piles. I have piles in lots of places. Don't judge me. And what I want to do is show you real quick what I'm going to do with one of my UFOs. So I had these two. This one's already been done. I'm going to show you on this one. They were both, this canvas had a different design on it. It had just little marks. And I wasn't moving forward painting wise with these pieces. Haven't been happy with them. Haven't had any inspiration as to where to go with them. So when I get stuck with something and stuck for a long time, like I painted these canvases 2 years ago. So they've been floating around my room for 2 years. It's time to do something with them. They either have to go or I've got to create with them. I don't believe in like throwing work away. I don't chuck work. I don't throw work away. I work with it. I find something to do with it. I know a lot of artists, if they don't like something or they've created something, they hate it, they'll literally put it in the trash can. I can't do that. Like, I consciously cannot do that. For me, this is, I started something. And knowing that I started something, I just believe that I believe in change. We'll just put it that way. I believe in change, and I believe that I can take this and make it into something different. I can change it. I can alter it. So that's what I want to show you. Plus, these are good little canvases. Like, I absolutely cannot chuck them in the bin. So what I'm going to do is collage it. This piece I have already collaged on top of it. I love monoprinting, and I really like monoprinting on deli paper, which is that super thin food grade sandwich paper. It comes in boxes. You get like, I don't know how many you get 500 sheets to a box or something crazy like that. Love this stuff. Love to monoprint on it. This deli paper collages down so smooth and so nice. It is fabulous. Plus, it's a little transparent. So a lot of times you can see underneath if you have. So like in this case, I already have an underpainting. I will be able to see a little bit of this underpainting shine through once I collage this down. So let's get going. What I've got is matte medium, a brush that I generally only use for matte medium, glues, gels, that kind of thing. This is not like a paint brush. This is specified for gels and mediums and that sort of thing. I'm just covering this entire surface with the matte medium. I'm going to put a little bit of matte medium on the back of the paper. And right now what I'm doing is I'm just judging, placement. I should have a sheet of paper underneath this, like what do you call them? Like a, to catch the glue. The name of that completely escapes me, and it is not coming back to my mind. So I'm not going edge to edge. I will just make sure I've got matte medium on the edges. And here we go. I'm just placing it on top, making sure that I can wrap it around this way, and I can. Except I don't want that much going around, so I am going to shimmy it this way a bit, because I want a little of that yellow to show. So I'm actually going to shimmy it a little more and see if right there. So there we are. See that? That's nice. Okay. You can see a little bit of the transparency. I can see a snippet, little tiny bit of my circles in those areas. This paint is actually pretty solid, opaque, so I can't see through right there. Not a big deal. It's not about seeing through. It's about altering this canvas and turning it into something new. So I'm squeegeeing out air bubbles is what I'm doing right now, and just mushing it, smooshing, just smushing everything down really good. I have a sheet cloth. It's the end of the day, y'all. I'm a little tired, but here we are. We're working. I'm working. I'm tired, but I'm working. And I just wanted to show you this process because I think it's a good process to just see, and you know, a good way to alter. Ooh, it was folded over, so that's actually a bonus. I've got a little extra of the paper to fold over to make it like extra secure. Okay, squeegeeing out the air bubbles. And matte medium. I really like matte medium. I like the fact that it is matte because paper is generally matte. Even though I'm collaging with paper that's been covered with acrylic. Acrylic paint generally has a sheen to it. For whatever reason, when I monoprint, it doesn't always come out shiny. This turquoise has a little sheen to it, but that's going to disappear when I coat this whole top with matte medium, which I am going to do here in a moment. I'm just trying to get this entire sheet of paper stuck down. And this one, kind of felt, what do I have? Ridges. Let me get these, let me squeegee. So sometimes when you're feeling, you can feel like I've got the paper scrunched up, and so I'm just smoothing those lines out. You'll feel that sometimes. Because you know, when the paper gets wet, it actually expands a little bit. So once you have that expansion, that's when wrinkles can come into play, is the expansion of the paper. Okay, when I've got this excess here that I don't want to glue all this down. It's too much. I really just want a clean edge over here. I can cut. I've got some scissors handy. I can just trim this off. So fold this little sheet off, and then I can glue this down. Easy peasy. You could tear it. Sometimes I tear it. Sometimes I don't. This is messy, but I don't mind. That's why I've got the cloth. It's not a sheet, it's a cloth. Okay. So I am good all around. All the edges are down. Now what I'm gonna do, I could leave it as is and not coat the outside. knowing that I more than likely am going to continue to collage on top of this surface. Like this is not my finished piece. This is just the next stage to get me to the next stage, which would be collaging on top. Probably, you know, some paper cutouts, botanicals, something. When I collage on top of this again, I would be using matte medium, painting on top of the surface. I could wait, but I don't. I generally just hit this with a coat of matte medium. I was about to say Mod Podge. This is not Mod Podge. And okay, so speaking of Mod Podge, people will ask, well, what about Mod Podge? What do you think about Mod Podge? Mod Podge is great. Mod Podge is fine. I used to use it all the time, especially for crafty projects. Like I've actually, you know, collaged entire pieces of furniture with paper, and used Mod Podge mainly because that was what, you know, we had and was popular at the time. I don't care for it these days because it seems to have a little bit of a sticky sheen to it. Now, if you got matte Mod Podge, that's a different story because a matte surface product is not gonna be sticky. It's gonna be matte. So super just smooth. And I like that finish. So Mod Podge, sure, but matte medium, little better, gives you a better surface. So here we are. I've got this whole sheet wrapped around both sides, the whole front. I've got this side and this side to contend with now. Same on this one, same on this piece. I've got, you know, it wrapped around. So what I'll do later is I've got this whole pile of, you know, mono printed deli paper, and I will choose some coordinating colors and then just cover these sides so that the whole thing is covered. Then I'll come back and collage on top. So I just thought I would share a little bit of my thinking process, how I deal with unfinished art, or something that you're just stuck on. You know, if you're stuck on something, collage it or add marks to it. I could have continued to paint and draw on it. I just wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't feeling to go in that direction, and I really felt to collage it. So there you have it, y'all. Super easy, super fast. Messy, yes, super messy. Working with matte medium is definitely very messy. I know a lot of artists wear gloves. I don't wear gloves mainly because I am just a touchy-feely person, so I have to like really feel with my own senses what is going on. So is it healthier to wear gloves? Absolutely. Wear gloves if you want to. If it just really bothers you to have, you know, the acrylic on your fingers, wear gloves. You'll still feel what's going on your canvas. Yeah, so that's it. So that's why, just a little side note that I just don't like gloves. So personal preference. I hope this inspired you to maybe find some old pieces of art, canvases, whatever you've got laying around, something that you're not satisfied with, unhappy with, or maybe don't like or care for anymore. Can you give that piece new life by collaging on top of it and altering it in some way? That's kind of the whole point of this video. It's not to like exactly mimic what I'm doing. It's to just take something old, make it new. Which kind of has some, you know, there's some spiritual lessons in there too. So that is my inspiration for today. Happy creating, y'all.